Every gardening instinct you have says protect the fruit, let it grow a little bigger before you pick. With cucumbers, that instinct is exactly what kills the plant. Somewhere in your vines right now, there could be one cucumber you missed, pale at the tip, hiding under a leaf. Give that fruit 3 more days and the vine starts shutting down, and most people never figure out why. This video is about the one habit that decides whether a plant gives you a dozen cucumbers before it quits or hundreds before frost. That habit has nothing to do with the seeds you bought. It's something you do with your own hands every single day. My first year growing cucumbers, I lost 4 vines before July, doing everything I thought I was supposed to. There's a second piece to this too, one almost nobody talks about, and skipping it will quietly undo everything else you're about to learn. My first year growing cucumbers, I lost 4 plants before July. I watered on schedule, I fed them when I remembered, and I let the cucumbers hang a little longer on the vine so they'd be bigger when I picked them. That last part is what killed every one of them. I remember finding the fruit that did it, tucked under a leaf on my best plant, already gone that pale yellow color. By the following week, the whole vine had collapsed. Cucumbers don't grow like tomatoes or peppers, plants that keep making fruit all season because that's their job until frost. A cucumber vine has one job: produce a batch of mature seed, then it's finished. The moment one fruit on that vine turns fully ripe and yellow, the plant reads that as mission accomplished. It doesn't know you wanted more. It starts shutting down, sometimes within days. Here's what I believe now, and it goes against how most people treat a struggling garden. One fruit left on the vine too long is what kills a cucumber plant. Every piece of this system exists because of that single fact, and once you understand it, the rest is just logistics. There are 4 pieces that keep a plant producing instead of quitting early, and they only work as a set. The first is how and when you pick, which keeps the plant panicking in a good way. The second is getting the vines up where you can see every fruit and keep pests off them. The third is feeding them enough to sustain that panic. And the fourth is starting new plants before the old ones run out of time, because even a perfectly managed vine only lives so long. Start with the picking because it decides whether the other 3 even matter. Every 2 to 3 days, go through the vines and pick anything that's reached a usable size, even smaller than what you'd buy at the store. Don't wait for it to fill out. The second a cucumber starts losing its dark green color, that's your warning. Let it go pale or yellow and you're 1 fruit away from the shutdown I described. Pick these vines hard and the plant doesn't slow down. It panics. As far as the vine knows, something is harvesting every fruit before it can mature, so it throws energy into producing even more flowers, faster, trying to outrun whatever's taking them. The more you pick, the more it gives you. Letting a cucumber sit because you're busy that week is like letting mail pile up on the counter. Nothing's wrong with it sitting there until suddenly it is. None of this works, though, if half your cucumbers are hidden somewhere you never look. And that brings up a problem most people don't think about until it's already cost them a plant. Cucumbers sprawling along the ground are nearly impossible to check properly, no matter how careful you are. They're also an easy target for anything that walks through your yard at night. Birds, squirrels, rabbits, they'll all take a bite before you ever see the fruit. Checking your garden every 3 or 4 days feels like plenty. Rabbits don't work on a 3 or 4 day schedule. Getting the vines up off the ground solves both problems at once. Run a length of nylon twine from any overhead point, a fence rail, a cattle panel, even a rain gutter works fine, and clip the vine to it every 6 inches or so while it's young. A few dollars in clips and twine from any garden center is all it takes. If you've got a fence line you're not using, that's free trellis space sitting right there. The rain gutter option does something the others don't. Growing up under the eaves puts the vine in the shelter of the house itself, which cuts down wind damage and holds a little extra warmth into the evening. Vines trained that way are often the last ones still producing after everything else in the open garden has been knocked back by cold. Once the vines are up, trim off the lowest leaves that are starting to yellow anyway. It doesn't hurt production, and it makes the fruit hiding underneath a whole lot easier to spot on your daily walk. If you're working with a patio or a container instead of an open bed, a simple tomato cage does almost the same job on a smaller scale. You lose a little of the reach of a full trellis, but you gain the same thing that matters most: Every fruit sitting where you can actually see it. Once your vines are climbing, watch for cucumber beetles too. They don't just chew leaves, they carry disease from plant to plant, which means a vine can start declining for reasons that have nothing to do with a missed fruit. A light kaolin clay spray on new growth keeps most of them off without reaching for anything harsh, and if pests have been a recurring problem in your yard, tucking a few radish seeds in nearby works as a trap crop. Pests tend to go for the radish first and leave the cucumbers alone. That daily walkthrough is where most people fall behind without realizing it. How many cucumbers are you getting off a single plant right now? Drop the number in the comments. I read everyone, and I can usually tell exactly which piece of this someone's missing. Getting a plant to overproduce the way we just described takes energy, and a lot of it, and this is where a lot of gardeners quietly undercut their own results. I feed every 2 weeks. Around the base of each plant, I work in about 1.5 tablespoons of a general all-purpose organic fertilizer, something balanced like a 5-5-5, plus 1/2 tablespoon of bone meal for the phosphorus that drives flowering. That granular mix doesn't do anything the day you put it down. It has to break down in the soil first, which takes 2 to 3 weeks, so I follow it immediately with a watering can mixed with a fish emulsion fertilizer, 2 to 3 tablespoons per gallon. That part the plant can use right away. The granular feeds the next few weeks, the liquid feeds today, and together they keep the plant from ever running dry. If you'd rather skip store-bought fertilizer altogether, some growers do just as well working chopped banana peels into the soil around the base of the plant. It's slower to break down than a bagged product, but it's free, and it covers a lot of the same nutrient gap. Skip the feeding step entirely and the picking trick still works for a while, but the plant runs out of reserves faster than people expect. Even with perfect feeding, though, there's a hard limit on how long any single vine will last, and that's the last piece of this system. Cucumbers move fast from the start. Seeds germinate in 3 to 5 days, they're ready to transplant in 2 to 3 weeks, and you'll usually see your first fruit about a month after that goes in the ground. All that speed comes at a cost. Most varieties are done somewhere between 60 and 90 days from transplant, no matter how well you treat them. Trying to keep one vine alive and productive from May to October is like trying to make one tank of gas last a cross-country trip. At some point, you stop and refill, no matter how carefully you drove. I start new seeds every 4 to 6 weeks, in a different spot each time, so the next planting is coming into its prime right as the last one starts winding down. There's always a plant somewhere in peak production instead of one tired vine limping through August. Here's what ties these 4 together, and it's the part most people never quite connect. Picking hard triggers the plant to overproduce, but it can't sustain that without the feeding behind it. Feeding it well doesn't matter if half the fruit is hidden in vines you never check, or if beetles are spreading disease through the patch without you noticing. And none of it matters past that 60 or 90-day mark without a younger plant ready to take over. If you live somewhere the summer heat runs past 90 degrees for weeks at a time, cucumbers will also drop flowers under that stress no matter what else you're doing right. A simple 40% shade cloth over the hottest part of the day helps. And if you don't want to buy shade cloth, positioning the vines where they get afternoon shade from a fence or a shed does some of the same work for free. This is the thing I'd tell someone starting over. One fruit that got past you is what takes a cucumber plant down. Get that part right, and the trellis, the feeding, and the new plantings are just there to support what the picking is already doing. There are also cucumber varieties bred specifically to skip pollination altogether and put almost all their energy straight into fruit. Merlin, Diamant, and Party Time are 3 I've grown personally and had good luck with. Some growers I've talked to get well over 100 cucumbers off one healthy vine before it's done, and that's with this exact system. Nothing more exotic than that. But the variety is the bonus. The daily pick is what actually runs the whole thing. So here's where I'd start this week if you want to grow your own food and actually see it show up on your table. Walk your vines today if you've got cucumbers growing, and pick anything close to size, even if it feels early. Get some kind of vertical support in place, even a tomato cage counts, and tuck a few radish seeds nearby if pests have been an issue. Mark a feeding on your calendar for 2 weeks out, And if this is your only planting this year, start a second round of seeds now so you're not caught flat when this one slows down. I still walk mine every morning with a cup of coffee because that's the one step in this whole system that never got easier with practice. It's just something you do. If videos like this help you grow food at home and save a trip to the grocery store, subscribing helps this channel keep making them. And if you're trying to figure out which crops actually pay you back the most for the space you've got, that's what I laid out in the $500 grocery escape plan, the guide on the site. Links in the description if you want the full list. I'd rather lose 10 minutes a day checking vines than lose a plant to one cucumber I never noticed. That's the trade I make every time, and it's the reason I don't garden the way I used to.